Hey guys, I'm sorry that I haven't done a video in a while. I mean, last video I did was a tribute video for Stanley, who has tragically passed. Rest in peace. And now this has been on my mind for a while, and I forgot to mention, last week I saw Batman Mask of the Phantasm for its 25th anniversary in theaters with my little brother, and I have proof. So this one is a little bit overlooked because not a lot of people really talked about it, and because some people when they think of the best Batman movies, sometimes The Dark Knight comes to mind. But like Doug Walker said, who is one of my favorite YouTube film critics, when it comes to the best iteration of Batman as a whole, there's always everyone always overlooks, which is Mask of the Phantasm. Uh, so it didn't do so well at the box office, but I mean, this was released at around Christmas time in around like 1993, and is based around the same continuity in Batman the Animated Series, which is such a great television show. Please check that out if you have not. I mean, that was one of my favorite shows back when I was a kid. I mean, I had like the first two seasons back when I was a kid. I couldn't find the third one. I mean, I was like, I think I was like 8 when I first watched the show, and that has been one of my favorite shows. And I gave my brother, who is 4 years old, I gave him the first season one time. After I found out that he was doing good in school. So as a little gift, I gave him the first season of Batman the Animated Series, and he loves the show. And he says that his favorite villain two of his favorite villains are Scarecrow and Two Face. But all that aside, when it comes to Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is such an amazing movie, not just from like a comic book movie perspective, but from an animation standpoint, this movie is amazing. Even 25 years later, it still holds up today. And seeing this in theaters made the experience it made it such an amazing experience because, especially when I saw this with my brother in theaters, there was a lot of things that he didn't expect. I mean, and I didn't show I didn't show him this movie on like DVD or anything. I wanted to like savor this for him until we saw this in theaters, and there was a lot of things going on that he did not expect because and if you haven't seen Mask of the Phantasm, this review will contain spoilers, so you will be warned. I mean, you have been warned. So from the story standpoint, some mysterious vigilante known as the Phantasm is killing off mob bosses, and everyone thinks that it's Batman who is killing the mob bosses. So Batman is trying to figure out who this killer is, while at the same time running away from the police, trying to clear his name. And at the same time, one of the mob bosses goes to the Joker for help. But then, while all this is going on, we get flashbacks from Bruce's past before he becomes Batman. Because this is actually the first cinematic portrayal in animation, Batman's origin story. Because back in the 80s, Bruce Wayne was Batman from the start. But it wasn't until in live action form we didn't get Batman's origin story until Batman Begins. But Batman Mask of the Phantasm the origin story for Bruce Wayne is amazing because you see his first love and what he's going through and how he's like struggling with wanting to like fight crime in order to avenge his parents, to trying to also think about like balancing his life with the love of his life. And they captured this so well, and I think that, and sure, while he does propose to this woman named Andrea, And I mean, though she does accept, the next day, she mysteriously just disappears. So this causes Bruce to eventually become Batman because I mean, without the love of his life, I mean, he feels like he has no purpose other than to fight crime. But and the one scene where he first dons the cowl, Shirley Walker's score, which is it is almost as I mean, it's just as perfect as Hans Zimmer's score in the Dark Knight trilogy. It is Oscar worthy. It's right at that level. Shirley Walker, rest in peace. This score was amazing. And when it comes to Shirley Walker's score, who also did the score for the animated series, I honestly thought that Shirley Walker did an amazing job, and um, and especially the one score that was playing at the ending of Mask of the Phantasm was also amazing because it gives you goosebumps. That's the kind of score that it is. I mean, that's that kind of score that you would want to listen. You were like, "Oh my god, that music is amazing!" And when it comes to the conversations between certain characters, like, uh, I mean, this movie is also suspenseful, and I was really surprised because there were certain moments in the movie during the movie. Well, I mean, like I said, I saw this in theaters for its 25th anniversary with my little brother. There were some moments, like I said, how suspenseful this movie is. There were moments where my brother was literally closing his eyes, and I I could not blame him. If I was like a 4-year old kid seeing this in theaters, I would close my eyes too when it comes to certain scenes. Like the Phantasm. We don't figure out who the Phantasm is until like the very end when the Phantasm tries to kill the Joker. We do eventually find out that it's Andrea, and the reason why she's been killing the mob bosses is that, um, well, because even though her father paid, paid the debt they owed them, uh, the Joker, who was a hitman for the mobsters, killed Andrea's father, and this, of course, caused her to go insane and uh, wants her. I mean, this causes her to go on a path of revenge. But while Bruce is like fighting crime without killing anybody, she's like, she's willing to kill people, and um, it's kind of like the like Bruce and Andrea are the same, but they have their morals are slightly different, and I liked how they captured that so well. And honestly, I think the best scene in the movie is the final confrontation between Batman and the Joker, because because when it comes to that, everybody's beaten up and bloodied and everything, and right when the theme park is about to explode, uh, Joker gives without a doubt his best laugh, and the voice acting we get two of the best Batman and Joker voice actors ever, Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, because I honestly, they're the best. They still do great. Even in the Arkham games, I thought both Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are just flat out amazing, especially when it comes to the animated series, and especially this movie. They are amazing. And, that's all I had to say for this movie because it captures everything about Batman so well. It's kind of, that's one of the few things. This is one of the few movies that got Batman right, and that's why I love this movie. So I'm gonna give Batman: Mask of the Phantasm an A plus. If you have not watched this movie, I highly recommend that you check this out. And I'm sorry that I haven't done any videos in a while. I'm gonna try to do as much more as I can. I'm really looking forward to seeing Creed 2 this weekend, and I'm gonna eventually try to watch and review Creed sometime this month. This week, right before seeing Creed 2, because I want to I mean, I want to give you my thoughts on Creed before seeing Creed 2 and give you my thoughts on that. And I really want to start doing my sci-fi month, like I said, my Stan Lee video. But I had like a bunch of stuff going on with work, helping out my dad with some certain stuff. So much stuff going on, guys. I am so sorry, but I'm gonna try. I promise you, I'm gonna try. All right. So, and that's all I have to say, guys. Until next time, peace.